Hello again, everybody. First of all, I want to give you a huge thank you if you're watching my videos on this channel. I greatly appreciate the support. If you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button down in that side. I would greatly appreciate that. Any support that you can send my way would be hugely appreciated, even if it's just a like, subscribe, or something like that. If you're able to do so, I do have a Patreon account that I've got going right now. Um, Anyone who's tried to review products before knows that it can get pricey pretty quick, which is personally why I've tended to stick more with the budget things, just because working in the public service field and having a kid, a lot of my money goes to the kid. so so let's get into the knife that I've got for you this week. So this is the Kershaw Link. This is a knife that I've seen come up in a variety of EDC forums, best list of best budget knives, things along those lines. So I found it at a big box store and I decided that I'd give it a shot. Ran about 45, I think it was, if I remember off the top of my head. Um, Not bad for the knife, but a bit more costly than some of the things that you would consider budget, in my opinion. So let's dive into the Kershaw Link. Or let's do Kershaw as a company first. So Kershaw designs a huge number of knives, all different styles. So they're based in the United States in Oregon. And they do manufacture quite a few of their products in the United States. So some of them are manufactured um, in China, as Kershaw is part of the Kai Group, which is a Japanese-based group known for manufacturing like Japan's premier blades. So Kershaw was founded in 1974 and has been committed to designing blades that you would be proud to carry, own, and use. So they're going to look good and they're going to hold up to like use and abuse over time. So with over 40 years of experience, collaboration with a very well-known blade maker, they've got tons of awesome knife designers on staff. You know you're getting a good knife when you buy from Kershaw. My first knife from Kershaw was the Kershaw Clash. I did review it a couple of months ago, so if you want to check that out, again, give it a like if you enjoy it. But that one held up for years, so I'm excited to try out the Kershaw Link. So this was completely designed in-house by Kershaw Originals. And they wanted to manufacture it completely in the United States. So the reason behind the name, the Link, is that when you are buying a knife, especially a knife that's made entirely in the United States, you tend to pay the price for it. I get the whole idea behind supporting local businesses, supporting USA made, but I mean, not all of us can afford a $200 knife like what you're going to get with some Spyderco. I think Benchmade is United States if I remember correctly. But you know, I can't pay the butterfly tax just personally, and I can't spend $200 on a knife that I can't even carry around on a day-to-day basis because I work in the mental health field and they don't want you carrying knives. But so this is supposed to be the link between American made and a good quality or a good price that a lot of people are going to be able to afford. Another way that they put the point home, as you can see, the product number on this is 1776. And you're going to find that right about there. So this is 1776. I think the BW is blackwash, just because the blade is blackwashed. So let's start at the back. Oh, if you missed the symbolism between 1776 and American made, go back and read your first grade history textbook. So start at the back. So you'll notice there's a hole right here. So this would be great if you like attaching paracord to your knife, or maybe want to tie it to your backpack or something like that, or just have something that you can grip on it to pull out of your pocket. I don't know. I don't personally like doing that, but I do think that a monkey fist made out of paracord would look great on this knife. So the clip is black parkerized steel. So this is another way of finishing metal that's just going to keep it from corroding, and it looks good. I mean, I don't always like the look of stainless steel. I think it can get scratched pretty easily, although this can get scratched pretty easily too. However, the clip is pretty thin, so I was able to measure it about 8 millimeters thick, and that's going this way. I'm not even going to bother with inches, but it runs about 2 6/8 inches or 6.6 centimeters long. The body itself is about 4.4 or 11.2 centimeters long, which puts the clip at over half the length of the body, which, despite it being really, really thin and narrow, It does have a pretty good spring to it. Let me see if I can get in there. So that's going to hold onto your pocket pretty good and keep it pretty secure. This little lip right here helps slide it over the pocket. I'm just going to make it just easy to slide in and out. It's not going to tear up your pocket like some other knives were. I recently reviewed the Gerber flat iron, which the clip on that thing, holy crap, I could not get that on my pocket to save my life. So this one's nice and easy. You can reverse the clip to go left or right orientation carry. You cannot put it for point down carry though. I know that's a huge point of contention in the EDC community. Some people are die hard point up, die hard point down. I don't have any opinions one way or the other. I do prefer point down just because that's what I'm used to. And so when I pull it out of my pocket, it's like that rather than pulling it out of my pocket and then having to flip it. So personal preference, beyond personal preference, I don't have any opinions. So the grip is, you can get it in a couple different versions. This one is a glass reinforced nylon. It's all they had at the store that I purchased it at, which is a very light material, but I think it just makes the knife feel cheap, not the $50 range even. It's supposed to be pretty strong, hold up pretty well to like getting wet, wear, but I just don't like the feel. Hugely personal preference. You can get it in aluminum. You're going to pay a little bit more and it's going to be a little bit heavier. Not by much though. The the glass reinforced nylon handle weighs about 4 ounces or 113.4 grams. If you get the aluminum model, it's 4.8 ounces or 138.1 grams. So that might be important to take into consideration. Just, if you're carrying a lot of stuff in your pocket, a lighter one might be a little bit better route to go because at that point, ounces count and you don't want your pockets just being overly heavy. The shape of the grip, though, is pretty good. I mean, when you're gripping it, I have pretty big hands, so my pinky is going over the edge a little bit, so it's not as comfortable down here. If you can fit your whole hand in there, it'll probably be quite a bit more comfortable, but my pinky extends over into that part right there. So not as comfortable as it could be, but definitely Kershaw did awesome with the grip. This little contour right here is nice. And the grip I'm saying is the shape is nice. I don't like the feel of it. You can get some good torque with it if you're cutting. I'll get into that a little bit later. But this, I don't know if it's really counts as stippling, but it's small, flat top pyramid shaped grip pattern. Doesn't even really add much grip to it. So I don't like the grip on this one. That's my biggest complaint, I think, about this knife. So the grip is about 0.6 inches or 15.25 millimeters thick, which is a comfortable girth. And, I like it. I have larger hands, so keep that in mind if you're wanting to purchase something like this. I think this would fit really good with all different size hands, to be honest. So now we reach the most important part of any knife, the blade. So this is 420 HC steel, which is a budget steel that you commonly find in cheaper knives. It doesn't have a lot of edge retention, so it's going to lose that edge a little bit more quickly than if you get some harder steel, but it does resist corrosion pretty well, and it is easily sharpened. So as I've said in a couple of reviews, since I've mostly stuck on the budget end of knives so far, I'm finding a balance between edge retention and sharpenability is going to be really important. If you have a really, really hard steel knife that holds its edge really well, it's also going to be really, really hard to sharpen when inevitably that knife edge wears down over time. If you have something like this that's a little bit softer steel, you're going to be able to cut while you're going to be able to use it for a while. My Kershaw Clash has held its edge for forever, a couple of years, and I haven't had to resharpen it yet. It's probably due for a good sharpening, but it's holding up pretty well. But it's not going to hold the edge as long, but it is going to be easy to fix. If you're standard EDC, you're probably using it a couple times a day to cut things here and there, and you're not like relying on your life with this thing. I get that you might want to have something that you could trust your life in. But at the same time, if you can't resharpen it when it's dull, it's not going to be worth it. So you saw so far that this has speed safe assist open. I really like knives like this. hugely satisfying. Um, it's got a nice little paddle here with some jimping running down the edge. Oddly enough, there's no jimping here, so if you're cutting like that, you can't. It grips well, but not well enough as you would if there was some jimping there. So, like I said, the paddle has some, which adds a nice grip to it. Paddle sticks out a little bit right here, not problematic. Actually helps with the guard, just slightly. Um, so, like I said, the satisfying snap, the blade is about 0.11 inches thick at the thickest point. You can see there's a nice contour at the top, leads to like a nice triangular flat top right here. And then you got a nice downward curve until you reach the edge of the blade. So I really like the shape of the knife. I think Kershaw did a great job with this. It looks really cool. So straight out of the box, this knife was sharp. I haven't even run it over a honing stone yet, or one of the kitchen hones, but this is sharp. I was just messing around out back, and just in the sake of testing this knife, I just made a little spear out of a stick, and it cut through this no problem at all. Let's do some paper and everything. So just the standard what I normally do. Boom. No problems at all. I didn't have cardboard like I normally do, but so this is just a pizza box. So let's see what it can do. A little bit of resistance, that's to be expected, but cuts through it super easily. This will be interesting because I could only find my giant cutting board, unfortunately. So let me get this stuff out of the way. But I just wanted to see, I always like testing, can it cut through? A skewer, a little bit easier than some of the other ones I've used. Cut through it pretty easily once I got some force on there. So the blade itself is 3.25 inches, and I already mentioned it's black stonewash. So the 3.25 inches makes it legal to conceal carry in Colorado. So I'm not going to get in trouble if I make contact with a police officer and he sees that I have a knife. So overall, that puts the opening length to 7.6 inches or 19.3 centimeters. So good, comfortable length, not overly large, not overly heavy. Good balance overall when you're using it. So in my use, like I said, it's super sharp, cuts through everything, holds its edge decently well. Haven't had to resharpen it yet. Going to be easily resharpened if you need to do that, or when it comes time to do that. So my biggest complaint is honestly with the grip. I'm just not a huge fan of the plastic feeling grip. I get that it's a good material, but it just feels cheap. I don't like it. I wish I would have gone with the aluminum one. You're obviously going to pay a little bit more, but it's just going to feel and look better overall. So it's a well-designed knife, and I would definitely recommend it. It's American made, in-house, so you're supporting an American company, making good quality products, putting a lot of research into things that people are really, really going to like and use. The grip is comfortable. Like I said, my only complaint is with the material it's made out of. So you're going to get this at an affordable price. Check it out if you haven't done so yet, and thanks for watching my review. See you all next time.